This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Vere Technical Principal dies. Principal of Vere Technical High School in Clarendon, Antoinette Banton Ellis, has died, Education Minister Favour Williams has confirmed. She passed yesterday. Very sad. We pray for strength for the family and the school community, Williams told the news this morning. Hairdresser shot in head in Clarendon. Detectives from the Clarendon Criminal Investigations Branch are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of a woman at her Palmer's Cross house on Thursday evening. Preliminary investigations have revealed that 38-year-old Nicola Lawrence, a hairdresser who also does farming, was at her house when a man walked into her yard. He was armed with a handgun. The man reportedly made his way to the rear of the dwelling and began shooting, hitting Lawrence multiple times in the upper body, including her head and face. The gunman allegedly left the scene in a Honda Fit motorcar, which was parked nearby. The police were called and Lawrence's body was removed to hospital, where she was pronounced dead. The police have since collected several pieces of evidence at the scene, which will be sent for processing. Investigations continue. Another bomb threat at Sagicor complex in Montego Bay. Firefighters and the security personnel have reportedly responded to a bomb threat at the Sagicor complex in Montego Bay, St. James. This is the second bomb threat in 2 months. News sources stated that firemen arrived at the scene after 10 a.m. and ordered everyone to evacuate the building. Just last month, firefighters and cops responded to a bomb threat at a pharmacy on the complex. More details to follow. NHD workers off the job. A majority of non-management staff at the National Housing Trust in St. Andrew are now off the job. These include administrative and auxiliary staff. The placard-bearing workers are now on the outside of the building. They are upset about what they claim is the interference of the Ministry of Finance in their negotiations with the National Housing Trust for new wages and other terms and conditions of employment. Third Vice President of the University and Allied Workers Union, Garfield Harvey, says this has resulted in a delay in the negotiations. 3 arrested, 2 guns seized in Spanish Town operation. 3 alleged gunmen were held and 2 firearms as well as ammunition seized during an operation by the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force in Homestead, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. According to a statement issued Thursday by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, members of the Wildlife Gang fired at the security forces and this led to a shootout. 1 of the gunmen was shot. 2 of his cronies were cornered and held. The firearms, 15 rounds of ammunition, and a ballistic vest were seized by the security forces. 22 people have been arrested by the Joint Anti-Gang Task Force since it was launched in February. Most Jamaicans facing UK deportation arrived in that country as children, says the report. A report in Britain's Guardian newspaper says most of the Jamaicans facing deportation from the UK on a controversial Home Office charter flight next week arrived in the country as children. It's not yet known how many persons are due to be on the May 18 flight. The Guardian says 20 Jamaicans have been detained in 3 immigration removal centers near Heathrow and Gatwick airports. According to an analysis by human rights campaign group Movement for Justice, 13 of the detainees arrived in the UK as children. In November 2020, before a deportation flight, an agreement was reached between the Home Office and the Jamaica's High Commissioner, Seth Ramakan, not to deport persons who arrived in the UK under the age of 12. Alfonso Warren to be sentenced for his wife's killing on June 23. A Jamaican-Canadian man, Alfonso Warren, is to be sentenced on June 23 after being found guilty of killing his wife 7 years ago. The ruling was handed down against Warren in the Home Circuit Court on Wednesday, following his trial last month. Warren's wife, Stephanie, was stabbed to death at the couple's home in Kingston on December 31, 2015. It was reported that Mrs. Warren was attacked during a dispute with her husband. The Warrens moved from Canada to Jamaica in 2009 following their conviction in the baby Angelica case in Toronto. The couple's 8-month-old daughter, who became known as baby Angelica, was found dead in a freezing North Toronto parking garage in 2008. In 2012, the couple was convicted in Jamaica with concealing the death and failing to bury the body of their 2-year-old son, known as baby Joshua. St. Andrews Central Police seek persons of interest. The St. Andrews Central Police have listed several individuals as persons of interest who they believe can assist with ongoing investigations into recent incidents in the division. They are Marvin Walker, otherwise called the Crocodile or Tallman, of the Color Red Gang; Joshua Nugent, otherwise called the Kid; Kevin Wright, otherwise called the Trigger, of the Color Red Gang; a man known only as Grassy, of the Color Red Gang; a man known only as a Glasses Man or Glasses; a man known only as Jumbo, of the Color Red Gang; LaShawn Warren of the Bedward Gardens Gang; Malik Miller of the Bedward Gardens Gang; a man known only as Redman of the Bedward Gardens Gang; and Zephaniah Whitaker, O.C. Sonny of the Bedward Gardens Gang. These individuals or anyone knowing their whereabouts are asked to contact the Halfway Tree Police at 876-926-8184, Police 119 emergency number, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. St. and Municipal CEO cleared over installation of controversial charging port. Rovell Morris, the Chief Executive Officer of the St. Ann Municipal Corporation, has been cleared by the Office of Services Commission of any wrongdoing in relation to the installation of a charging port at the local authority. The port was installed for use by former Mayor Michael Belnavis to charge his electric vehicle. Anti-corruption body, the Integrity Commission, had recommended in January that Morris be sanctioned for authorizing the installation of a 220-volt charging port at the St. Ann Municipal Corporation, so Belnavis could charge his Porsche Cayenne hybrid motor car. The Integrity Commission deemed that Morris contravened the law when he carried out Belnavis's request to install the charging facility for his personal use. In an interview with the news Thursday night, Morris disclosed that he attended a meeting at the commission earlier that day where the matter was settled with him being cleared. "I am feeling relieved, especially because of public perception. If you understand, public perception would have it that you're corrupt, etc., which the headline did say," Morris said. "It is a sense of relief and a reprieve as a normal human being, not only as a CEO." In coming to its conclusion, the Integrity Commission at the time noted that no permission was given by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Local Government, Marsha Henry Martin, to install the charging facility. In a special report, Kevin A. Stevenson, Director of Investigations at the Integrity Commission, chided Belnavis for the request to have the charging port installed, deeming it an abuse of his office to have public resources used for personal use. Morris was said to have breached Section 17 of the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act when he acceded to the request by Belnavis. The Integrity Commission said Belnavis repaid the sum of $78,000, which was the cost to install the charging port. The installation of the charging port was one of a series of controversies that ultimately led to Belnavis stepping down as mayor. Morris said since the incident, measures have been put in place to prevent a recurrence. From the initial time, added measures have been put in place, so definitely I have to be more stringent on the processes going forward, he said. Man fatally shot by police in St. Mary, Indicom probing. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing the fatal police shooting of a man in Enfield District, Nutter Bay, St. Mary last night. He has been identified as a 27-year-old Kemar Duhaney, OC Blacks or Tutu. The incident reportedly occurred about 11:30 p.m. in the vicinity of the Enfield Health Center. The police reported that 2 cops were on mobile patrol when a man was reportedly seen with a knife walking along the Enfield Main Road. It is alleged that the cops requested a search of the man's person. It is further reported that Duhaney pointed a firearm in the direction of the police when they attempted to approach him. One of the cops discharged his weapon during the incident. Duhaney was pronounced dead at the Anota Bay Hospital. According to Indicom, a 9mm pistol without a serial number was reported as recovered from the deceased man. It said the scene was processed and forensic exhibits collected. The alleged recovered firearm as well as the weapons of the concerned officers were boxed and sealed for submission to the forensic lab for ballistics testing. The body of the deceased was also bagged and sealed for storage pending post-mortem examination. Initial accounts were provided by the two cops, and the witness canvassing was also conducted by Indicom's investigative team. The cops were served with notices to provide statements and/or attend the commission's office to be interviewed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.